This is a short message for everyone on the eve of the European elections. I hope that tomorrow everyone eligible will be going out to vote. I actually believe that this vote is even more important than the referendum itself, and I'll tell you why. I have to say that 3 years ago, back in 2016, I campaigned heavily for Brexit, and I was absolutely elated when we won. I voted Leave, and along with 17.4 million other people, we got the vote. We were told by the government their stance on this issue, right? They spent £9.3 million of taxpayers' money, of our money, sending us leaflets telling us that they suggest we stay in the European Union, telling us all the things that would happen if we leave, so that we had all of the facts. They even said it was a once-in-a-generation decision. They went as far as to say the government recommend that we vote to stay in the European Union. So we had all the facts, and despite that, we voted to leave. So that was a democratic process. 3 years down the line, we haven't left. There was a general election after the referendum, and the manifesto of all the parties said that they would all uphold the vote. Well, that hasn't happened. We were supposed to leave the European Union at the end of March this year, 2019, and that hasn't happened. And now Theresa May is talking about giving the option for a second referendum. Well, that's not how democracy works. And so I'm actually appealing to everybody, whether, irrespective of whether you voted originally in the referendum, whether you voted Leave or Remain. The crux of the matter is this is now an issue of voting not for Leave or Remain, it's whether you want to live in a democracy or not. That's what the matter comes down to. Because that was a democratic process, and it's an absolute outrage that it hasn't been honoured. And so for the millions of men who fought, bled and died for us to live in a democracy, this is a slap in the face. This is, their sacrifice is in vain if we can't uphold democracy. So we've clearly seen during the two world wars that as a sovereign nation, we are capable of cooperating with Europe, right? So we can do that without being dictated to or blackmailed or bullied by one or all of the other members. We were quite capable of doing that. And so that cooperation can continue with Britain being a sovereign nation, which is what we have decided to be. The 17.4 million people made our choice, and it needs to be honoured. So tomorrow's vote is far more important than the first. It really does boil down to whether you want to live in a country where you know that your vote, whatever way it goes, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. As a conservative Christian, I have to say there are a lot of decisions that have happened in our country. There's a lot of legislation that I'm not in favour of. But guess what? If it comes down to a democratic vote, I have to accept the decision of my people. And so this is no different. So tomorrow's vote is so important. It's important that we vote only for pro-Brexit candidates that are willing to take a seat in the European Parliament and actually show the strength of our nation as a sovereign nation, because that's what we've decided to go back to. And to show them that we can't be bullied, we can't be coerced, we can't be blackmailed and mocked. And quite frankly, they're laughing at us. And I'm not surprised, because the conduct of Theresa May and the government and our parliament has been appalling. So no wonder they're laughing at us. So let's use tomorrow as an opportunity to take back our freedom, our rights that our men fought, bled and died for us to have. Let's take it back. Let's ensure that we do live in a democracy. Ensure that our children still live in a democracy when we are gone, and their children and the generations thereafter have that freedom and it's not taken away from us. Vote for pro-Brexit candidates tomorrow, and let's show the world what we're made of again.